So I was lucky enough to get a chance to try out these two new Milk Dud Head cards that are worth just your entire bank account of MT. Originally I was actually going to do a video separately for them each, both of them being Facecam games in MyTEAM Online as I usually do, but I actually didn't want to do that this time because I had both of them at the same time instead of separately. I figured let's try something different and actually make a lineup surrounding the two of them being the backcourt stars, the Clamp crew, and see which of the two was more worth the MT, which one would shine more than the other, both of them being the focal points of the team anyway, so it's not like one would get more opportunities than the other. And this is what I came to find. Now, I played a total of about 5 games with both of them in the lineup. 3 of them are games that I actually got to finish. 2 of them the person just quit early, so I barely even got enough footage of them. Either way, it doesn't matter if it's live or not. Everybody who is watching this video is probably just here to know whether they're worth it or not. So my initial thoughts on both cards were, well, first let's start with the Payton. The Payton, I love the Payton because he's not somebody that needs to be a focal point of your offense for him to have an impact on the game. His defense is genuinely going to be noticed on the court, and more than anything, his stealing ability. You can just bully people, force them to pick up the ball like it's nothing. It's actually kind of abusive, to be honest with you. As far as the Jordan goes, he is just there to score. Like, that's it. He's going to score. That is his one job. That's it. As an AI, it's still bothersome that he still randomly leaves people open from 3. I don't know, that's just unavoidable, honestly. As far as his defensive capabilities though, the one thing I noticed personally, and you probably would too, is just his unball and his interception steal tendency. He always finds a way to just make a defensive play happen just like Jordan did. Even though the AI makes him look dumb at times, he still ends up finding a way to be that defensive juggernaut. But the fact that the AI is that way, I think takes away from how much he should be valued, because if I'm paying like 700,000 MT for the GOAT, like supposed GOAT and should be best card in the game, he should not be subject to all of the things that happen to every other card in the game, especially in the guard positions, because as you will see when this video goes on, there are other cards that I have that will score just as well as this MJ and do just fine for me, but they're worth a fraction of his price. And as you see in the clips before, Payton is just doing his thing. The beautiful thing about this Payton is the fact that he doesn't need the ball, but he finds a way to impact the game. If he's the open man, the fact that he's a diamond Payton, he's definitely going to make those shots. That was the reason that people didn't have a hard time guarding a Payton, because his offense was never that crazy. This Payton's offense is insane. I even love posting up with him, to be honest with you. And to make it even better, his dribble moves make it so much easier to create. He actually has crazy handles. But now that you've seen the good, it's time to also show you the bad, as MJ just hits that insane ass shot right there. Like, what even? See, that's what I expect from a card that costs 700k. He's going to hit the open shots because he should, but he's also going to hit the difficult shots because he is who he is. That is not always the case with MJ, and that is why I don't feel like he's worth that 700,000 or whatever he is now. Because for that 700,000, you can get 2, 3, 4, 5 diamonds, even depending on who you're getting if they're cheap. And not only would they play just as well for your team, but then your MT is more evenly invested in your team and all your eggs aren't in one basket. But that's not to say that this card is bad by any means, because obviously you've seen what I've been doing with him so far in the video. But I'm just saying, more for his price, he's probably just overrated if anything. Because take a look at this. We've all been at this point before when we're playing 2K. A game literally had just started. I give the ball to Mike to set the tone early, and guess what? I get led right into blocks. I miss layups at the rim, and then on the other end, he's able to just tech off over 2 people when that's what Mike should be doing as well, I'd imagine. But that doesn't end up being the case. After that one shot, Mike was already cold, and I'm trying to go back at him. I get the blow by, and then he gets herbed at the rim one more time, and no, Mike ends up being cold for the rest of the half. And the only part about that it actually bothered me was the fact that Mike has the microwave personality badge. So the fact that he can have that, be Michael Jordan, and have the stats that he has plus the 3-point shoot as I gave him, and still not be immune to just starting off games cold, no, like no, my diamond Mitch Richmond can score just fine and still get cold and still be worth 150k. Who's winning here? Like, I'll have more MT saved from just using Mitch instead. Who's winning? And then on the other end, as you saw, the dude that I'm playing has like Ruby Durant, and he's teching off the way that you'd imagine Mike should, but Mike isn't doing that. And you just saw Mike like hitting F jump shots, making and ones towards the end of games. It's not like he's not capable of making them, it's just because the game said so, he's going to go on a stretch just like everyone else where he's not going to hit them. To be honest, in the time that I used him, he didn't even get that many falls. He got more and ones than he got actually 2-shot falls at the rim. I'm not saying that's the reason you shouldn't get him. I'm just saying that's the reason he's not worth 700,000. It's your MT. Go ahead and do whatever the hell with it as you please. But if somebody is meant to be the GOAT and worth this much MT, I should not still get cheesed in the beginning of a game just because the game said so. No, at the end of the day, it's still Michael Jordan, and you're still probably just going to drop a 20 piece on most people's heads, but be prepared to know that eventually you are going to come across like a Ruby DeRozan, and not only is he going to give Mike the straight business, but Mike might end up just being cold, and then there goes your #1 option for your entire team. As for some final thoughts on the Payton, I think if I was presented with a choice, I would invest the MT in Payton before Jordan. Payton is not exactly a go-to scorer, but he's probably the perfect point guard in my opinion. He's going to lock down completely, can guard the 1 through 3, he's going to hit threes, can create off the dribble, and then can post up smaller guards. Honestly, it's either him or the Diamond Oscar, whichever preference is yours, I think are the best point guards right now to pick up. Now we'll leave it with this final clip of MJ so you can formulate your own opinions on him. It was a close game down the stretch, 2-point game, and all I needed was 1 bucket to kind of just seal things. I really wanted to gut to him more than anybody else. Even if it was a mediocre shot, I wanted him to hit the shot just because it's MJ and I was doing it for the video and the culture. But he misses a C+ corner 3 after he was just making absurd things before that for most of the game and other games. He misses that one with the clutch performer badge and all. I know for some reason my Tim Duncan just feels the need to leave Marc Gasol wide open when I was playing the pick and roll on my own and didn't need any help whatsoever. I didn't call timeout, don't want the defense to get set, give it right to MJ, go up court, blow by 3 people, go up and pause. Michael Jordan, the GOAT, 700K versus Marc Gasol, Big Papi Spain. Take a couple of seconds and think about 1, how do you think this game should end? And 2, how do you think it actually ended? You ready? And just like that, I almost quick-sold the guy that Scottie Pippen had to carry to 6 rings. The man literally just went ahead and got Roy Hibbert on Melo for the win. That was probably the worst possible scenario, but that's my point. If this is what 2K wants, this is what will happen. And I am not paying 700K for a card that is still subject to that.
Why getting faded with some bitches from the west side, east coast, nigga reppin' north side, never waste a host time, bitch I'm on my own time, fuck a nigga cosign.